Hey guys, I'm a little later than normal because I was tidying up. I was setting up soft boxes. How much can I dip without you guys seeing that? What else? I don't even know, but I wanted to show you guys over the past few days. This is all 250. Actually, I did extra questions. Thank you for the thumbs up. This is 220 questions from 2009 to 2016. All done. I'm so happy that I'm done with this. Today, I don't know what I want to do. I've got this right here. I'm thinking I might move you guys to the side and then do essay plans on here because I'm really not in the mood to do critical thinking. I feel like I should do critical thinking, but I just really don't want to do it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not feeling the vibe for critical thinking, but critical thinking is also very important. And if I need to work on my critical thinking, I should probably consider doing that now. But do I have the mental capacity to do this today? Right, how many questions are here? How do I go to the bottom of this page? Well, these are the Cambridge questions. Okay. So I have what, roughly 7 times 24 questions. Do I want to do that? 7 times 24, 168 questions today. We're doing this for 3 hours. That is a sticky one. You know what? Sorry, my hair's a little bit. What's going on up here, babes? Oh yeah, no bonnet today, no headscarf today. A little bit of wig glue actually. I need to tidy that up. But I decided to dress dress up a little bit. Right. So this one is 9 times 3. How many questions are there? I'm trying to think about essay plans. I've not made any essay plans, have I? This is, I want to go up to page 1. You can resist an invading army. You cannot resist an idea whose time has come. Okay, I've made up my mind. Am I going to do essay plans? Sorry, guys. Normally I plan what I'm doing the night before, but I just wasn't feeling the vibes. Like, sample essays. Liberty consists in doing what one desires. Do I have the mental aptitude to do this today? What do you guys think? Should I do essay plans or should I do critical thinking? Because I'm really not sure which I should do. Oh, yeah. Accept cookies. Right, I think you know what? They're not all going to be really, really long PDFs, right? Oh, 26 pages! This is going to be more than 100 No, you guys, you're kidding me. 26 pages. That better include the answers as well. How many questions is this? It's not including the answers. But if I want to do well in this exam, I've got to suck it up. Stop having a tantrum and actually do the questions. Only the questions. Yo, I don't know if I can do this one, guys. Okay, right. I'm going to do critical thinking. I'm not. Essay plans will be a fun one to end on. This is really not looking fun. I know I'm meant to be uplifting and motivate you guys, but sometimes it's just like, I'm not feeling the vibes, right? So what questions do we have? We have assumptions, conclusions, flaws, inferences, strengthening evidence, weakening evidence, and other. Okay, right. Assumptions. (2009 to 2016) Bmat section 1. Assumptions. What subjects are you guys doing right now? I'm going to do the same as yesterday. Look up when I'm done marking some questions. These are the questions. I'm so sorry. If I manage to get through these questions, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm going to be very, very overwhelmed. Okay. Gardeners are being encouraged to use alternatives to peat, as peat harvesting endangers the wetland habitats of wading birds. But gardening has become the most popular hobby in the UK, with thousands of people visiting gardening centres to buy peat. The habitats of birds therefore will decline. Which of the following is the assumption? Gardening will remain the most popular hobby, because if gardening goes down, it's going to have less. Oh, what is... This is a 2003 one. I don't know. Gardening, the habitats of wading birds will therefore inevitably decline. The answer is A. I got that right. The conclusion is that the habitats will inevitably decline. This is due to peat. However, we're assuming that although there are alternatives to peat, people will continue to use peat. This is not making any sense, you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. This is how we're starting. Okay, question 2. So this is not 2009. This is 2003 to 2016. Lord help me. Okay. Recent threats of terrorism in the UK have resulted in fear. I've just realized I've got demonetized straight away. I realized that yesterday with biology as well, because there are certain words in human biology that will trigger the algorithm, and I'm like, I don't want to trigger you guys. Recent, I have to be careful what I'm reading out loud, have resulted in fear of air travel. Consequently, more people are taking holidays in domestic resorts than abroad. The consequences for road planning, car parking, and the rail network are immense, and travel agents risk going out of business. The government must quickly act to plan. Okay, what is the following underlying assumption of this statement? Well, as always, tea, water, as we do. Less cups of tea than normal. I normally have 3 next to me. I don't know why I only took 1. I need more tea to get through this. Yikes. People may be tempted to buy bargain offers. The government is not willing to respond to these changes. People prefer to use private cars than public transport. There has been an overreaction to threats of the T word. Changing holiday patterns will be... I'm going to say the answer is E. Let's have a look to see what the answer is for the next one. I got it right. Okay, don't blame me, guys. Okay. The conclusion is that the government must quickly act to plan these. But why is the author arguing this? It's because they think this will lead to long-term impacts. Okay, I don't want to get too excited. I've only gotten 2 questions right out of 2, but it's 100% at the end of the day. Okay, now we're in 2004. I like that. Recent research has shown that people who keep pets tend to live longer than those who do not. The explanation seems to be that factors such as increased exercise, the soothing properties of stroking an animal, and the emotional benefits of affectionate relationships combine to benefit human longevity. Everyone who can own a pet should do so. Obviously, this suggestion is not appropriate for people who are allergic to animals. Which of the following is an assumption? People that have allergies can never have pets. That's an assumption. The more pets, the longer they will live. Dogs, horses, and cats are always affectionate to humans. Everyone should try to live longer. People who don't have pets. Let's see what the answer is to this one. I've said A. The answer is E. The first one right. My feelings are hurt. Everyone who can should. Yeah, that makes sense. That is a suggestion. Never have pets is extreme language. Yeah. Incorrect, because it mentions... Okay, that's relevant. Emotional benefits. It's not specific to animals. Oh, that's the mark scheme. Don't accidentally look at the answers. Okay, right. Let me make this a nice angle. Let me go on to the next question. I'm doing question, I should probably number these correctly, like based on what question they are. So question 4 for me is actually question 25 from the 2004 paper. Gardeners are being encouraged to use alternative to peats. Oh, I've already done that one. Oh, they use the same. You guys are sneaky. Use the same question in 2 successive years. But I guess at this time, wait, is this not the same question? Gardeners are being encouraged. Back to question 1. That's the T word. Gardeners are being encouraged. I'm confused. This is the same question, different year, different answer. That is very confusing to me. In 2003, the answer was A, but in 2004, the answer was B, but it's the exact same question, the exact same premise. What am I meant to think of this? The traditional school sports day featuring races with clear winners and losers is being replaced by school fun days and non-competitive days. The rationale for this is that the self-esteem of children who always lose is damaged. I always won those races. Wow, they're using the same question before. I know, it's the same question, different answer. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. I don't even know. Do I email them? I don't know, because it's the exact. The fire alarm is going off. Yeah, it's very confusing. That fire alarm is so sensitive. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because obviously it's meant to protect us, but okay. The rationale for this is that the self-esteem of children who always lose is damaged, but in adult life, competition for jobs, partners, and social status is unavoidable. School should recognize this and revert to traditional sports day. What is the assumption? B, we're assuming that children who lose in competitive races will be unsuccessful in adulthood. Non-competitive games boost. If they boosted, that wouldn't be the argument. School sports. Oh, I think it's D. I think we're assuming that school sports should prepare children for adult life. I don't know. I'm saying D. If the answer is actually B, I'll be upset. Yay, the answer is D. So from what I can tell, I'm quite good at assumptions. So do I continue? Yeah, continue with assumptions for at least 10 questions and then move on to a different type of question. Then we can come back. Right, 2005. When a judge delivers a judgment in court, dissatisfied defendants should not stand up and abuse him. They turn instead to civilized appeals procedure. However, footballers who disagree with the referee, okay. It's a little premise. They often act like thugs and scream dissent at the referee. We should not tolerate aggressive behavior in our civilized society. Any player acting this way should automatically be banned from the next 3 games. This would benefit the school community. Whoa, where does school come from? This would be to the benefit of the school community, given that children imitate their heroes. We're assuming that footballers are heroes and behave similarly in the classroom and the playground. Sahi. Hi, Sahi. This is basically TSA. You know what? I was really upset yesterday because I was like, oh my gosh, section 2 of the Bmat is the exact same as a Natsuki paper because I did a Natsuki paper and they recycled the same questions. And now I'm looking at TSA papers and looking at section 1 papers. I'm like, you guys just gave us the same questions, but just gave it a different name. I don't know. I know that's fine because they like create the exams, but I just feel kind of hurt because I'm like, I don't know. I was expecting a remix or something. Right, question 6. I'm getting confused. I just did that, right? Oh, okay, footballers. And I got distracted and came over here. I was actually going to do more practice questions for TSA, and it was the exact paper. They're just copying and pasting. I don't know why I'm so hurt by this. Okay, football clubs do not attempt to control aggressive behavior. There is no civilized appeals procedure. That's one assumption. Banning players will reduce that behavior on the pitch. I'm going to say that's the assumption. Children are more likely. We're assuming they're heroes, but okay. Okay, guys. What's the answer saying? What book is this? See, I got it right. I think I'm actually good at assumptions. I think we really should move on. But my issue is I'm doing questions from like 2005, and will they be as similar as the questions from like 2017? Right, we're in 2006 already. Okay. You know what, we might as well just do 2003 to 2016. It's not as if I have anything better to do, apart from, preparing for my mini mock in organic chemistry. Okay. The media have an important role to play in democracy. Since a democracy requires that voters are well informed about political issues. However, whenever the government minister makes a serious mistake, journalists sees it as the only topic worth reporting on in the political sphere. They focus on it to the exclusion of all other important political issues. That sounds familiar. Moreover, the particular story itself has its own dramatic requirements, which means that every detail that supports claims of a minister's incompetence is included, whereas details that should support an alternative view are omitted. A good story is not the same thing as the truth. So it is clear, we're using extreme language, it's clear that political journalists are not doing their job properly. What is the assumption? That they're deliberately distorting the truth? Voters believe everything they read in the newspaper. Voters are not mentioned. It is the job of political... A voters mentioned. I just read this. There's no voters mentioned. Democracy does not... Wow. Voters are mentioned in every single answer. Okay. So I can't just assume that things... Dawn Chow. Hi. I can't assume that things are just... Thank you to everyone joining. Thank you for all the thumbs up. I don't know. I want to say political journalists are... Is it A or is it E? That might not distort... That's a rough one, I can't lie. The answer's C. I got another one wrong. That's sad. This one is technically... Wait, so I've done 7. I've got 5 out of 7 so far. Because I don't know if it's 5 out of 7 or 4 out of 7 because that 2003 question... That 2003 question is the exact same as the 2004 question with a different answer. If I see a 2018 question in my... What are the answers? The answers... Basically, it's saying... Political journalists are deliberately distorting the truth. Voters believe everything they read in newspapers. It is the job of journalists to inform... Okay, that makes sense. To inform voters about political issues. That's the correct one. Democracy doesn't require that voters know about ministers' mistakes. Political journalists are aiming to destroy the careers of politicians. The answer is C, and why is it C? The conclusion that political journalists are not doing their job properly suggests, okay. Therefore, we're assuming it's the role to allow voters to be informed. A, B, D, and E are not required for the conclusion to be held. Don't know what that means, but okay, sure. Question 8. We're going to move from assumptions in a second, just so I can see if there's anywhere else I should invest my time in. The media have an important role to play in democracy. Since democracy, we just did that. These guys are sneaky repeating questions, and I'm getting a little bit scared now. Most scientists now agree that global warming is a major world threat and that human activity in generating greenhouse gases is at least a contributory factor, if not the whole explanation. Calm. Although many countries in the developed world have set targets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, it is considered unrealistic to expect such restraint by less developed countries as they attempt to improve their economies and thus reduce poverty. So we are left with a stark choice. It is a priority to act to reduce the long-term problems of global warming. Oh, is it a priority? I was like, what do you mean? Or alleviate the current level of poverty? Ooh. Which of the following? This is looking very section 2. I'm not liking it. I've done that question. They just like recycling questions. Okay, which one or more of the following is an assumption? Less developed countries have not set targets. That is an assumption. Developed countries regard alleviating poverty as a higher priority than reducing. No. Levels of prosperity in developing countries are not improving. I don't know. Developing countries can only improve their economies. One and four look nice, but I don't know. What's three? Levels of prosperity in the developing countries are not improving. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to say it's 1 and 3. It's only 4, but 4 was looking so attractive. I really just wrote the right answer and then crossed it out for the wrong answer. And now I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt. This exam is really hurting my feelings. 1, we don't know if this is the case. That's the point. It's an assumption. Oh, I would have to assume, but it's not an assumption made by the question. Okay. Okay, I see where I'm wrong. Question 9, or rather question 28 from 2008. Many areas of Britain have been subject to serious flooding in recent years. People who own homes in flooded areas already find it difficult to sell their houses. With the pace of climate change set to increase, more areas will be at risk of flooding. We therefore are facing a future of limited geographic mobility, which will have social economic consequences. Okay. Which of the following statements are assumptions underlying the above? Okay. Climate change is a cause of flooding. Yeah. No effective action can be taken. That's not said. People will not want to move. What's the answer? All of the above. No effective action. How do you know no effective action is being taken? Climate change, that's 1. People who own, that's 2. Okay, I agree. What's going on? These have thrown me off. Bye. Love you. Love you too, babes. Bye. Right. Question 10. Oh, we're almost done then. Are we not? How many questions is it in this section? Oh, it's 24 questions. That seems like a lot. A Welsh police station has incorporated color psychology into the design of its cells with the intention of improving success of interrogation. That sounds interesting. As well as glass doors, reducing claustrophobia, a particular shade of yellow has been used because psychologists said that it has a calming, mood-enhancing effect. Similarly, royal blue has been used as it enhances communication, allegedly. What assumptions underlie the police's decision to use this color scheme? That people will be more likely to reveal the truth if they feel more at ease? Yes. Psychologists have full knowledge? No. Color psychology is the best way of calming. This is a difficult one. That it is important to know that interrogation technique. C and A both look like they could be the answer. What's the answer? A, of course. I said A or C, and they. Okay. I'm not hurt. My feelings are not hurt. This is not physics. It can't hurt me. A Welsh police station has incorporated color psychology into the design of its cells with the intention of improving success of interrogation. So why is it not C? We cannot assume color psychology. Success of interrogation if they feel more at ease. Okay. Okay, guys. That's making me sad now. Praise is an expression of recognition, of conferment of status. Okay, so money isn't enough. By the same token, if you feel recognized and appreciated, you will put up with other inconveniences, including a less desirable income. The most valuable kind of praise is the one that the recipient knows to be appropriate. Praise should only be given to the extent to which it is deserved. How do you determine who deserves praise and who doesn't deserve praise? Okay, right, this is 2009. Which of the following are assumptions of the argument in the passage above? People can accurately assess the recognition. I'm so confused. Which of the following, sorry, it's getting noisy now. I'm trying to focus. Which of the following assumptions of the argument, wait. Which of the following are assumptions of the argument above? Okay, people can accurately assess the recognition, okay? People who give praise assess the level, can assess the level, okay? Promoting others is a duty we all share. Self-esteem produces behavior. I don't know, babes. I can't lie. I didn't even follow this question. I wasn't expecting to say that. Yay, I got it right. Thank you. It's taken me so long. I've been hurt so many times by this exam. Scientists have argued over whether extinction of dinosaurs was caused by a space impact or supervolcanic activity that lasted 1.5 million years. The space impact would have caused a sudden large-scale fire and earthquakes. Volcanic activity would have caused cooling of the atmosphere and acid rain, which would have seen changes to the marine and land ecosystems of 500 as no such changes were identified in this is the only plausible. That's assuming that the other changes are plausible. What subjects are you guys doing? I'm assuming most of you are doing Bmat, potentially, if you're on a Bmat here. So this is saying, as no such changes were identified, space impact is the only plausible. So that's suggesting that we identified the space impact stuff. Okay. Okay. Volcanic activity would not have also. I don't actually know what this question is asking me. A cooling of the atmosphere. There is no other explanation. I feel like C is the answer, to be honest. If I cross out A and put C and the answer is actually A, I'm going to feel offended. Flip a coin. I'm going to say it's D. Go completely different. It's C. No. I'm hurt. There are no other possible explanations. Why is C the only answer? Sorry, you guys. It's not any cocoa. It's just you drink. Why is this the answer? Only we're using extreme language, that's why. That's a good song. Question 13. Reducing class sizes in the UK in primary schools. Reducing class size in UK primary schools to 20 pupils would be expensive and would produce little improvement in children's education. This is confirmed by evidence of the USA. In 1990s in California, they reduced the size of classes because the state had been ranked 49 out of 50 in reading abilities of 9 to 10-year-olds. 10 years and 50 billion later, they went to 48 out of 50. If class size is reduced, see, we're assuming that reduced class sizes are the only thing that had that impact. Anyway, more teachers are needed. Thus, the UK candidates with lower qualification would have to be recruited since there were already only 1.2 applicants for each teaching post. Whoa, that's bad. That's very low. What is important is not whether there are 20 or 30 children in a classroom, but whether there is one good teacher. That's an assumption that teachers are the only things that impact your education. Countries whose children do well are those whose teachers are the brightest graduates, allegedly, because that's an assumption, which is not an assumption. Candidates will know. That is an assumption. That is an assumption. That is an assumption. Okay, right. So the answer is B or C. I'm going to say B. If it's C, I'm going to feel hurt. Oh, it's B. Well done. What's the answer? Expensive schemes. So candidates with lower qualifications, other states in the US, being taught by the graduates, come on. Put me in that PPE class, because look at this. Look at this. I'm actually doing decent. Becoming a London taxi driver isn't as easy as you think. Unlike other London folk who choose to take the tube or the bus, taxi drivers have to spend hours learning the city road network for a face-to-face they have a face-to-face exam at the public carriage office to get a license to start their careers. Sorry, my watch is way too tight. It's cutting off circulation and distracting me from studying. There we go. Okay. Don't know why my arm is so numb. But the watch goes with this. It's very pink. We're staying on brand. Anyway, let's continue with these questions. Question 14. Becoming a London taxi driver isn't as easy as you may think. Okay, I've done this. They have better memory than the general population. So learning not only what makes them money, but also increases their memory power. Which one of the following is an assumption that can be made from the above argument? People with poor memory do not become taxi drivers? No. Many people believe it's easy to become, maybe it's B, brain scans on the same group before they become, C. I don't know why we would become, we can't make assumptions about why people become taxi drivers, but we can say that I have gotten the correct answer. So taxi driver or not, I'm very happy with that. Question 15, right? The brain disease VCJD was caused by eating beef from cattle infected with BSC. We're in 2011 now, by the way, guys. I'm doing question 17. Susceptibility to these types of disease amongst humans is associated with a particular gene. There are two variants of this gene, M and V. So there are three possible combinations that we can inherit, MM, MV, or VV. All infections have been with people with MM. Most victims of the similar disease in Papua New Guinea had the MM combination when they were also young, but a group developed it later, had the MV combination. Therefore, I think the M is the one that's getting it. Why are the dogs so loud? Therefore, the gene variance one inherent determines a combination incubation. Okay, there we go. So there will be two further outbreaks of the disease. Why would there be two? As those who consumed infected. What? Which of the following is an underlying assumption? The population have eaten. Yeah, one. I'm going to say the answer is E because it looks like 1 and 3. That is what it's really looking like right now, but I don't know. Let's see what the answer is. Just 3. So why is it just 3? Therefore, the gene variance one inherits determines. Why is statement 1 not correct then? Statement 1 isn't needed in the argument, as the main conclusion is that there'll be further outbreaks, so we know they've eaten the infected meat. Okay, that's such a random exam question. Imagine. I mean, for me, if it's in my exam, okay, you're a medic, biomedic, a vet, but this will come up in the politics, economics, and philosophy exam as well, and just be sat there like, infected meat. Okay. Authors of articles on health and medical treatments may be sponsored by pharmaceutical companies by receiving a fee or financial support for their own research. The public need to know what weight they should put in these articles when they are asserting evidence from various sources. In the USA, Newspapers and broadcasting companies are legally obligated to declare potential conflicts of interest of authors and contributors. We should introduce the same law in the UK. Which of the following assumptions is underlying the above argument? Authors who receive fees give a one-sided view. That is an underlying assumption. Companies that sponsor authors, that's another assumption. The reliability, the reliability cannot be fairly judged. I mean, they all seem like good assumptions to me. Not good assumptions. I don't think most assumptions are good. Huh? How did I get that so completely wrong? What's wrong? Statement 1 is incorrect because it doesn't mention safety. Okay. Someone calling me. Statement 2 is incorrect because it's okay. Okay. It's because it's not mentioned in the text. I need to stop guessing and pulling things out of my hat. Okay, we've almost been here for an hour. Well done, guys. Very proud of the studying we've done, even with the no motivation this morning. When our hands are soaked in water, ooh, we're in 2013. That's good. So what, we've done a decade of questions on this topic at least. When our hands are soaked in water, the skin on our hands become wrinkled. These wrinkles make a pattern similar to rain treads or tires that direct water away from the fingertip. Research shows that this has evolved because it gave humans better grip underwater. The researchers timed people as they transferred wet or dry objects from a box with or without wrinkled fingers. Wet objects were transferred faster with wrinkled fingers than without, but it took them time to transfer dry objects with the same without. Okay. This suggests that wrinkled fingers are advantageous to us as they help us to grip wet objects. What assumptions are underlying this? 1. If the answer isn't D, I can't say anything because I said that a lot. Okay, the answer is D. Thank you. Ugh, come on. You know how I said I was going to stop after 10 questions? This happened yesterday as well. I was like, oh, I'll stop now. An hour later, I hadn't stopped. We have 6 questions left. You know what? This is not as tedious as I thought it would be. Plans to share the medical records held by doctors on a national database have been shelved as a result of public pressure. The public's hostility to this proposal is misguided. That's an assumption. My glasses need cleaning. Of course, people's medical records are personal matters which they might not want divulged. And yet, while it is in everyone's interest to maintain a degree of privacy for their own peace of mind, it also has the interest of medical science. If the data were allowed to be shared, medical researchers would have an enormous pool of data which would advance. I understand. I know. You want to do research, but you also have to respect people's privacies. This is a 2014 question 15, by the way, from Bmat. I'm sure it's a TSA question as well, probably from 2013, 2015, because they like to mix and match. Okay. Which of the following is an assumption underlying the above argument? Possible benefits that will come from improvements in medical science outweigh. I mean, that's sounding like an assumption. Medical records will not be made anonymous. I don't know. Hostility is representative of the general mood. People have a tendency to be overly. I don't know what the answer is. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I got it right, but I don't know why. Okay. Why is it the answer? Conclusion, people are going to oppose sharing, but it's also in their best interest. Okay, I see how it is. It's in their whoa. I need to put some mousse on after this. I just turned and I just all. This side is all right. This side is just whoop. Yep, I definitely need some mousse. But I'm just relaxing today. I say relaxing. I have a lot of work to catch up on. This is not relaxing. Relaxing is covering 3 chapters of A-level biology. And they've sent me online homework as well, so I need to go check on that. Okay. People who have been convicted of serious crimes. Oh, okay, it's a question. Should people who have been convicted of serious crimes be able to return to their career after serving a prison sentence? At first times, it seems only fair and just that they should, so offenders can be rehabilitated into society. But what if that person has a career in a high-profile job, like a professional footballer? Millions of young supporters regard footballers as wrong. Why are there so many role model football? I want to know who wrote these questions. Okay. In this case, giving a second chance is not justified. It risks sending a message to young people that such behavior is acceptable. For high-profile people with young fans, there should be no second chance. Wow. What is the following assumption of the statement above? Young football fans cannot distinguish right from wrong. Offenders in most cases should be allowed employment. Football is attracting a high portion of young fans. The rights of the individual are less important than risk to society. Those convicted of serious crimes. That's a really harsh one. It's like yesterday they had a question about like dying cats, and that made me really sad. And I'm not even a fan of cats. The rights of the individual. I mean, that is the correct answer. We are making an assumption where there should be no second chance. Okay. Why is my neck so stiff right now? I've been sat here for what, an hour? Okay. Oh, this is 2015. 2015 question 26. Despite years of butter and saturated fats being given bad press, it's recently emerged studies in the 1980s highlighted the dangers of eating too much of these same fats were based on misleading data. Consequently, the guidance cannot be justified. Show me later. Oh, this reminder won't go away. Increased increased risk of coronary heart disease. And to counter this, they should make up 10% of our diet. Now this research has been discredited. We can just, that's not true. Just because it's been discredited doesn't mean it's wrong. You still have to check it, babes. What is the assumption? It's possible to enjoy coronary heart disease caused by a range of diseases. Other more robust studies have not seen. People follow public health. I don't know what the answer. To be honest, I could have read the rest of it, but I didn't because I got the question right anyway. So let's move on to 2016. Lord, please give me strength because this is really, really long. Right. Research shows that parents with high incomes, oh, I've seen this one, tend to have children who score highly in IQ tests. It's unlikely this is because of rich parents, more likely because being intelligent it results in having a high income, since a high level of intelligence is required for entering a well-paid profession like law and medicine. The research did not examine the relationship between the parental income and the children's IQ. Nature of profession, it found that there were children of high earners in sports. If it were found that the children of high earners in sports and education did not generally have IQ, we can assume IQ of children is inherited from their parents. Okay. The underlying assumption is that poor people are not as smart, or is it that rich people are smarter? I don't even know. This is sounding very political already. A high level of intelligence is not required to enter a career in sports or entertainment. That's a sweeping assumption. Children of rich parents are men. It doesn't mention education. The children of high earners in entertainment are not likely to have high IQ scores. A high level of education guarantees entry to well-paid. Babes, I don't know. It could be A, it could be C, it could be D for all I know. But I got the correct answer of A. Well done. The correct answer because it suggests that they are the exception. That's so rude. This statement really just said, yeah, if your parents are in entertainment, it's a no from you. You guys, I'm almost done with all of the questions on assumptions. Then we can do conclusions, and then we can do flaws, inferences. 1 second, what are the other types of questions? You mean like spatial awareness? Oh, on a Roman archaeological site. No, I've seen this question already. It gives me flashbacks. Okay, recent theories about the causes of cancer have held that most cancers are caused by internal factors, the result of inevitable mistakes. Ooh, can I get Siri to read to me? 1 second. No. That's sad. This would seem to imply that whether or not a person develops cancer is entirely out of his or her control. What a person does in terms of lifestyle choices is irrelevant. Yet, the latest high-profile study has strongly challenged this. It estimates between 90 and 70%. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 10:21.
10:21. What time did I start? Oh, it's almost been an hour. Whoa, you guys. Have you got any tips to get out of a studying rut? I'm usually quite productive, but these days I can't. I think sometimes you just have to do it. Today I just wanted to lay in bed. I really do not want to be here. This is not something I want to do. But I think writing down your why, because why are you studying? Like, okay, you're studying for a test, but why does this test matter? Like, why do you need to do well? I think also it depends on where you are in your education. The higher you are, the more of your own thing you get to do. So like now I get to do subjects I genuinely enjoy and don't have to do things because I've been told to. If you're higher up, then remind yourself why you enjoy those subjects, why you chose those subjects in the first place. I think study with me videos. Sorry, I'm actually exhausted. I really couldn't sleep last night. Yeah, study with me videos are good. Motivation to study on YouTube. Sometimes they are quite extreme. They're shouting at you. They're telling you that if you don't remember your pen, you're gonna fail in life. And obviously, that's not true. If you don't remember your pen, you are not gonna fail in life. But they can be like the kick in the bum that you sometimes need to like get yourself out of the rut. Hey, Maddie, we're doing assumptions, critical reasoning. Yeah, it's a long one. Yeah, I think sometimes you just have to force yourself to do it. Anyway, back to the assumptions. This is 2000. No, that's a mark scheme. Don't want to look at the mark scheme. This is 2016 Bmat question 28, section 1. Recent theories about, you know what, I don't want to do this. The latest. I'm going to say the assumption is A. The assumption is A. What is the assumption? Oh, no, the assumption is D. What is that? I didn't read that one. People have some control over influence of extrinsic factors like stress. Or okay, but why is A not the correct answer? That's my question. Oh, what? Here the answer is A. That's a typo in the mark scheme. Is it A or not? Okay, I'm confused. I need to evacuate then. Yeah, I'm going to be here for a few hours just doing BMAT. We are in, what year did I say we're in? We're in 2016 though, so we've come over a decade. Hey, Prosperity Gladys. I need the motivation to study. Videos make me feel threatened. They do make me feel threatened as well, but sometimes when like especially after school when I know I need to prepare for a maths lesson, because if I don't I'll feel really bad in class because I won't know what's going on. I'm like, okay. There's a typo in the mark scheme and it's making me upset. This is a second typo. The one that gets me the most is that 2003 one though, because how can you have the same question but have different answers? Hello, welcome to everyone who's joined. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Question 23, let's see. This is 2017, question 28. Oh, actually, are we up to 2017? I am not going to do these because I'm saving the 2017 and 2018 papers for tomorrow. I've touched all the papers from 2003 till 2016, so I want to save something for later. Right, now the assumptions are done. Yay! That's 1/7 of section 1. Let's look at some conclusions. Oh, yeah. How many questions? It's a longer document. How many questions do we have? From 2003 to 2016. That's 2018. So conclusions are the most popular questions. Interesting. 39 questions. I don't know if I can do that. Then again, I just said I don't know if I can do 20 questions on assumptions, and I managed to do that. I hope I don't cry on this live. We didn't cry in physics. We're not crying over section 1. Let's do an aesthetic title in calligraphy. This is conclusions. Conclusions. Let me come and see what the chat is saying. I'm still trying to work out how to live stream you guys. Bell Jones, hi. Wait, where are you getting these questions from? I already told you. I'll email them now. Command and C. How do I open Outlook? I'm sending them over, Maddie. Oh, it signed me out. That's really sad. I think that question about cats dying has really made me sad. For absolutely no reason. It's not their fault. It's just a dominant gene. What am I looking for? 2003 to 2016. Who's messaging me? You have a new message. Okay. This is Bmat. This is section 1. Madeline. I'm really bad at reading things out loud. I'm not trying to read out your whole email. Bmat questions. Tab. Command and V. Boom. These are the questions I was telling you about a few days ago. I'm such a baffed individual. Bmat questions have you crying? I mean, I didn't end up crying in the end. I kept on. If you watch the physics one, you just see me like over 2 hours just deteriorating. And then the final 15 minutes, I'm getting all the questions right. And I'm like, okay, it only took like 4 hours, but okay. Right, so this is conclusions. Question 1. Tell me if you've gotten the email. Let me check my sent items. Yeah, it says I've sent them over. Yeah. I have breakdowns every 2 hours. Whatever you told me is gone now. I'm trying to keep it together. I think my biggest fear is like going into the next school term knowing I've not done as much revision as I normally do over half term because I'm dedicating my time to this exam, which better pay off. It sounds like I'm threatening the exam. If you don't go well, we'll have an issue. Right, 2003. A proposal to counteract low turnout by voters in electorate. I'm going to say A. I've already done the 2003 papers so many times. I know I got that question right when I did that. 2003 to 2005 haunts me. Those are really horrible papers. I think they're not the hardest BMAT papers. From what I can tell, the hardest are 2017, 2013, and 2010. That's what I would say. There is a physics question in one of the harder papers that is A level, not GCSE. That paper is hard, but I can't remember what paper that is. Right, back to conclusions. 2004, animals are less important than humans. Is that the correct answer? Only animal experiments that benefit humans are acceptable. Okay. It seems these questions have the same answer. It's always D, but in the UK it was always C. Hello, Tootsie. Nice to see you. I say nice to see you as if I'm not going to see you again. Actually, Tootsie, whilst you're here, we've been sent more chemistry homework because I refuse to open Teams. I don't want to open it. I'm scared. I just keep getting notifications that someone has sent you homework, and I don't want to look. I'm afraid. I don't want to acknowledge what's ahead of me. Right, this is 2004. They spilled. Oh, that's a lot of crude oil in Alaska. A 2001 study found more than 100 tons of toxic oil remaining on beaches. Okay. Which of the following identifies the biggest problem? Okay, got it, Angie. Today I'll do all the questions I don't know if you can do them all by force. Even if you know the content, you've got biology, chemistry, maths, physics. If you're quick, it will take you 8 hours. Then section 1 is even longer. It's taken me an hour to do them and I'm slow. So it'll probably take you 6 hours, 5 hours to get through that. That's 13 hours, and that's not including all of the section 3. Unless you're someone who does 12-hour days, because I know that like if I have to, Saturdays, 12 hours, bang. But it's gonna probably take you about 15 hours if you're quick to get all those questions done, because there's a lot. I haven't opened it in days. I don't want to touch it. Every department is sending me homework, and I've not looked at my emails. Like I opened them to send Maddie the questions, but I've not looked at my emails. I've not looked at my Teams. I'm really just avoiding everything. I've not even touched UCAS. I'm just trying to get this exam done. And the wig, you say the wig is secure. I hope it's secure. It's getting me stressed. If I go out in the wind, Mother Nature will just, that happened before actually in year 12. It was so embarrassing. Mother Nature just said, you need to be humbled. I was feeling myself a bit too much, and she was like, relax. At least I can take myself not so seriously. Do you guys ever read questions and it just doesn't go in? This conclusion question is not, it's not even marinating on the surface. We can do this. We can do this, guys. Whatever subject you're doing, I believe in you. I believe in you. Right. Increases in blood pressure associated with old age are an endemic in developed countries, but are rarely seen in underdeveloped countries, where people tend to maintain a high level of physical activity throughout their lives. That is true. This is 2004. At the other end of the age range, obesity, so young people are obese and diabetic. Sedentary lifestyles, less opportunity for exercise. Okay, which can be, wait, so they're fat and then high blood pressure. Okay, that makes sense. People who do not take sufficient exercise will, I think that's it. I think it's B, because it's saying if you don't exercise, you'll get diabetes. People gain no benefit from physical activity unless it continues into old age. That is also, that's another assumption. Lifelong exercise is associated with maintaining good health. B, C, and D all look like perfectly plausible. I actually need to focus because this is the most common question in the UCAT. I got it right. I got it right. Okay. It's the most common question in section, not even in section 1, in the UCAT completely. So that's another thing. If you understand which questions are more common, so like in biology, genetics is the most common. In chemistry, calculations are the most common. In maths, algebra is the most common. And in physics, waves and electricity are the most common. If you can like work out what's most likely to come up, just focus there. I'm saying this as if I'm not going to cry over the kidney. And the kidney's only come up 3 times. It feels like it's come up so much, but it really hasn't. Okay, right. Question 5. I don't even like the kidney like that. What year are we on? 2005. Okay, we're making progress. Despite alarming warnings about the possibility of a global epidemic. 2005, was this? If only they knew. There is no chance the bird flu will kill thousands of people in Britain. That sounds familiar. References to the 1918-1990 flu epidemic, when millions died, are misleading. In those days, the economy of the country was weak, so the population was vulnerable to infections due to poor nutrition. You can get infections with good nutrition. Now we have a strong economy, therefore children can have a, we're saying strong, you guys just got rid of free school meals. You're talking about strong economy means strong immune system and good nutrition. We are told that increases in amount of global travel makes it more likely for a deadly disease to spread across the world. You don't say. Frequent global travels. Sorry. I should be focused on the question, not the global pandemic. Frequent global travelers become immune to infectious, you sure? Infectious diseases simply because they've been exposed to them so many times. So global travel helps to prevent the spread of a pandemic. Oh, this is very ironic. Very ironic. Okay. Which of the following gives the conclusion why this might be unsafe? The vast majority of residents in Britain are not frequent global travelers. Being immune does not mean the strength of the economy is not the only influence on a child's health. Don't let me start talking about the economy. We're going to stay apolitical today. I got the question right. Next question. What year are we in now? We are in 2005. 2000, what was going on in 2005? Patients who have had a heart attack or a bypass, bypass. Is it bypass or bypass? I think it's bypass because it's pass. It's 2 separate words. It's not one word. I'm thinking about this too much. Patients who have had a heart attack or a bypass operation are advised to take mini aspirin to reduce the risk of further trouble. Aspirin it reduces prostaglandins, platelets. There's a really distressed bird outside my window. So we should all be taking it. We shouldn't all be taking it. We're making an assumption that everyone is clotting 3%, 80% of men. Oh, wow, age 40. This is really, really scary. Oh, it's for a magazine, though. Which could safely be concluded? No, no, no. I don't think you can conclude any of these safely. It's a magazine. You're very much stressing me out. Hey, this question is really, really confusing. Okay. Why is A the correct answer? That is the real question. We don't have enough data. Data. We have enough data. Question 7. This is the 2006 paper. Okay. Freedom of speech is there's so many freedom of speech questions in this exam. I'm so tired. It's generally a key element of democracy, but when that freedom is used to incite hatred for minority groups, another key feature of democracy, tolerance, is lost. That's a very, very powerful statement. So while it is true that freedom of speech is very desirable, it must have limits and parameters if democracy is to be sustained. Which of the following best expresses the conclusion of this passage? Freedom of speech and tolerance cannot coexist. Inciting hatred should be illegal. It doesn't say anything about legality. Freedom of speech and tolerance are key features of democracy. Yeah. Tolerance of minority groups is more important than freedom of speech. Freedom of speech in democracy must not be unrestrained. These are all very political, so it's going to be hard to separate yourself. Oh, so the answer is actually E. That's the first one I've gotten wrong. Freedom of speech needs to be controlled. Wait. It's true that freedom of speech is very desirable. It has to have limits put upon it if democracy. That's saying you have to control it. But this one is saying, oh, yeah, it's double negative. That's why I got confused. Question 8. We're making progress, actually. I kind of want to make essay plans now. Hello to everyone who's joined, and thank you for the thumbs up. But I think I need to focus because I don't want to get too philosophical today. And we're not going back to the physics yet. We'll go back to physics later in the week. Despite a growing problem of eating disorders among young women, print media still contribute to the problem of featuring photographs of models much thinner than ordinary people. That's not fair. You can't say they're not ordinary people. One of dangers of anorexia and bulimia, but we're assuming that the models are anorexic and bulimic. Which of the following can be drawn as a conclusion? Young women are more influenced by pictures. The media are unaware of the effects. Printers' inconsistent approach. Public are only interested in the dangers. This is a very sticky one. I'm not 100% sure. What's the answer? Okay, I got that one wrong as well. Sad times. Yeah, I agree with that. Even if I disagree, it's the correct answer. The World Health Organization has recorded 184 cases of H5N1, a strain of bird flu, all of them caused by contact with infected birds. 103 of these have resulted in death, indicates how dangerous the virus is. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's on over 50%, right? Wow. I pray there's not a pandemic of this one. For there to be a worldwide epidemic of H5N1 amongst humans, it would have to be, I dropped my pencil. It would be possible for the virus to be passed from one person to another. Unlike normal influenza, it can only bind to receptors deep in the lungs. Therefore, it cannot multiply in the upper respiratory system and is not transmitted by sneezing and coughing. That's really good. So it cannot be transmitted. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Give me a sec. Where's my... What am I looking for? Yes. I was turning on my other study timer because, squeaky chair again, I'm getting a COVID test. I hope you're okay. I thought your sister tested negative. You're scaring me. But when was the last time I was in contact with you? Will we have to stay at home or will we have to go to school? Wait. I sat next to you on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I can still smell, I can still taste. This is not an effective way to see if I've gotten anything. Yeah, I can still taste, I can still smell. I mean, I coughed once in this live stream, but that's just because like I had to clear my throat. Tell me what the results of your test are. Wait. If you have COVID, that means I can't go into school for my Bmat exam. Tootsie, remove the COVID from your system. If the test comes back positive, remove the whole virus. I sat next to you. Bawani Auntie, sorry I'm late. Welcome. Tootsie, I'm gonna text you after this. You can't have COVID right now. Not right now. I need to go into school on Wednesday for the Bmat. We're studying for the Bmat exam. If you test positive, I can't go in for the exam. But then I do the exam at home. And then I don't have to do the chemistry exam on the same day. No. And also, obviously, I care about your health as well. Yeah, I care about your health. We're friends. Sorry, it seems like I'm not. I'm focused on your health as well. Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh. Don't test positive. It's me telling you not to test positive is not going to change the results of your test. But please, please. Oh my gosh. Okay, right. Let's continue studying. You scared me, Tootsie. Please test negative. Okay, bird flu. Which of the following is a conclusion we can take from the passage? Unless a vaccine, blah, 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 blah. If it mutates, then we will have a worldwide epidemic. Please don't mutate. Please don't mutate. Please. Why is every virus just trying to... Oh, no. Now I'm upset. Now I'm stressed. Oh my gosh. All the questions about a pandemic in a global pandemic. I'm tired of this pandemic. Right. What's this question? There is no point building new nuclear power stations, which would increase the amount of dangerous nuclear waste. The major reason for doing so would be to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels, which means generating electricity, thereby produce carbon emissions. I'm tired of carbon emissions. I see so many carbon emission questions. New developments in green technology, such as wind power, have resulted in a huge rise by 2010. When was this question? This question was 2006. Yeah, that's not happened, sorry. The prediction was wrong. And by 2020, which is where we are now, they will not be needed. Unfortunately, I don't know where this quote is from, but it's 2020 and we're still using fossil fuel. So this prediction from 2006 was completely wrong. In 2020, the worldwide demand for electricity will have increased. The rate of increase may slow down. By 2020, the storing of nuclear waste may have developed. Unfortunately, it's 2020, and I can tell you 2006 question, that's not happened. That has not happened. No new nuclear plants could be completed before 2020, but they will no longer be. This is so cute, looking at questions from the past, talking about the future. 2020 is not what you would have expected. I can tell you that. Okay. Acrylamide is a chemical product found in many foods: potatoes, pastries, bread, toast. Is toast not just bread, but cooked bread? Cooked bread? Baked bread, cooked bread. During a normal cooking process, animal studies have shown when ingested, acrylamide is broken down to form glycidamide, which can damage DNA and cause cancer. So you're telling me potatoes are going to give me cancer? Oh, yeah. In humans, less glycidamide is produced than in animals. The only way to avoid the production of acrylamide is to cook the food below 120 degrees, but nothing cooks below 120 degrees. Roasting, frying potatoes make them absorb more fat, and fat is bad for your health. Also, the lower temperature means that you're more likely to get salmonella, as it is more likely that bacteria will survive, increasing the risk of food poisoning as well. Okay, which of the following can be concluded from the information above? What can we conclude, guys? Ingesting acrylamide is less dangerous for humans than animals. Avoid health problems. No, we can't assume that. Eating roast. I'm saying the answer is D again. The answer seems to always be D. What's the answer this time? I got it. The answer is D. Right, we're on question 11. How many more of these can we do? How many did we do of the last ones? So for the last ones, we did 20 questions. I think I'm just going to do 20 questions of all of these because we're going to run out of time and we can always come back and do more questions. What subjects are you guys doing right now if you are doing subjects? I like to know what we're doing. Juntos. Question 12. Simplistic interpretations of traditional evolutionary theory suggest that animals are never altruistic. In other words, the only compelling drive is for personal survival. There is reciprocal altruism in the animal kingdom when an altruistic act is carried out, which may be returned at another time. Warning calls of a bird put the bird at higher personal risk, but the bird will benefit in the long runs. That's interesting. Which of the following is a conclusion? Traditional evolutionary theories is discredited by knowledge. Reciprocal. Birds operate as a social group. Survival of the fittest is not mentioned. I'm going to say the answer is A because the others, there's not enough evidence to back it up. Back it up. Oh, the answer is C. Clear paybacks as a bird. It helps their survival. I don't understand this question. I can't lie to you. It's 2008. It's correct because traditional evolutionary theory states that their only compelling drive is personal survival. Maths, homework, and revision. We love it. I've not touched maths in a second. Tomorrow's meant to be my day of maths. It's going to be interesting, maths and essays, but that should be fine. What type of maths are you doing? What am I doing? I'm just thinking about how much maths I have to do. Radiation from mobile phones. Hey Siri, what's my battery power or percentage even?
Your Mac is at 75%.
Thank you. I don't know what happened on the first study with me. The first study with me, like, by the time we were at this point, I was dying, but I thought I started from 100%. Anyway, radiation from mobile phones can affect cell behavior. Researchers exposed 10 female volunteers. Why would you expose yourself to radiation? Anyway, to simulate an hour-long phone call, they screened 580 different proteins in their skin cells and found that the numbers of one protein increased by 89%. Oh, wow. Another protein increased by 32%. This is the first study to show molecular, 2008. Wow. What can be concluded? Overuse of we don't know if it's a negative effect. It could be a positive protein. The human body has a negligible reaction. That's not negligible. We can't say if it's negligible. 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 People should keep mobile for less than an hour. The body reacts. I think the answer is D. If the answer is not D, I don't know what to say. What's the answer? D. Thank you. As it should be. Ooh. I'm actually proud of myself. I can't believe we've done this. Pure maths. Ooh. I'm meant to start doing some applied maths, so statistics and mechanics, but I want to cover pure maths. So I want to recap all of A2 pure in a day. So partial fractions, functions, series and sequences. What's chapter 4? I don't know. Radians, then trig. Then what's chapter 8? Chapter 4 is binomial expansion. Chapter 8 is something to do with like parametrics or something. It's something to beginning with P. I can't remember. Chapter 9 is differentiation. That's a long one. I want to at least get up to chapter 9. I don't know what to do about applied maths. I've not touched applied maths since lockdown. So that's like a third of my grade. So I need to look at the mechanics and the statistics. And statistics are my weakness. So we need to work out what's happening there. Young British competitors today are too friendly, and this is affecting their chances of winning major championships. They are all too close. All the current generation are having lunch together, then going off to play for $1 million. In the past, competitors had to win over and over again to become well known and create a future and a pension plan. These guys now have a future in a year. You can be a millionaire in 6 months without even winning. You've got your own clothing line, advertised with drinks and sportswear. They even have management companies guaranteeing them on signing on fee for playing in a tournament. In the past, it was necessary to play well to be invited to top events. They started with little to nothing and were lucky to receive 100 a week. But look at what they achieved. Yeah, but inflation. Your argument is weak. Inflation. I'm not really a fan of stats. I don't want to say I can't do it because positive speaking only, I can do stats. But pure mechanics are all right. I think mechanics I used to brush up. Remember my Suva equations. I wish it was the old the old days when you could choose your modules. I would just do pure mechanics. I wouldn't touch statistics at all. Someone's at the door. But yeah, back to the question. Which of the following can be drawn from the passage? The standard of play in Britain has declined over years. No. Nowadays, British players are more interested in money. No. British players in the past were not friendly, potentially. Nowadays, people can make money from appearances. Okay, I think that's the answer. Nowadays, it's harder for them to win a championship. That's not mentioned. We're getting to 2009 now. What's the answer to this one? Hey, I got it. Okay. Question 15. Last winter, heavy snowfalls prompted criticism of the government failing to ensure the country is preparando por severe weather. Billions of pounds were lost to businesses through workers being unable to make their journey to work during a week of heavy snowfall. Others felt that these costs could be accepted philosophically. Given that the likelihood of prolonged periods of snow in the UK is very long, it could be said that the high cost of investing in preventative measures would be unreasonable. Governments have to make an assessment. Oh gosh, okay. Low risk, high cost. Right. What explains the conclusion of the argument? The government has a responsibility. Yes. The government was not right. No. The government should be spending more money to prevent. Sorry. So many of these questions from 2003 to 2010 are all about pandemics and the possibility of a pandemic happening. And now I'm doing these questions in a global pandemic. You have to laugh or else you'll cry. Anyway, the government should be spending more to protect us against pandemics and asteroids. I mean, pandemics are a lot more probable than asteroids, but okay. The government should have spent more precautions. And then the answer seems to always be the same thing. The government should compensate billions of pounds to businesses. No, you lost me there because it's not mentioned in the text. Okay, so this one is saying the government is correct for not spending money on preventative measures. Okay. It's been 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's not bad. So in 1 hour and 10 minutes, we'll be done. We can do this. Okay, question 16. Although it has been known for some time that ants are able to make alarm calls to each other, advances in technology have enabled scientists to discover that ants routinely talk to each other in their nests using miniaturized microphones and speakers that can be. Oh, wow, that's interesting. This is a 2009 paper. I'm sure the technology has developed since then. It's been over a decade. But these surprising abilities can be exploited in other parasitic insects who mimic ants. Oh, to make them their slaves. Why am I so sad about slavery with ants? Rebel's large blue butterfly, an endangered species. Okay. The species has been found to imitate ant sounds so successfully that butterfly caterpillars are carried and beg for food and are fed by. A colony is disturbed when the ants will rescue the caterpillar before their own. They will even slaughter their own young to feed the caterpillar. No, that's so sad. Why is this so sad? Okay, which of the following can be drawn as a conclusion from the pattern above? How do I scroll down? What is this? I'm trying to work out what's going on. Give me a second. Okay. Ants' abilities to make sounds will eventually lead to their extinction as a species. Rebel is the most notable. Ants are usually displaying. No. Oh, yes. Ants are usually loyal. Ants have developed abilities to speak to each other. The role of sounds. I think E might be the answer, but it could also be C. E is the answer. You need to go with your gut because all the questions that you've gotten wrong, you thought of a right answer before you did the wrong one. Also, how are you guys finding the lighting? Let me look at this. I'm being lit from the side and from behind. Behind. I think it's all right, but I'm not sure. I'm not the one watching. And is the audio okay as well? I'm not sure what it's like in live. I know in post I can mess around and do different things. Okay. It is human nature to try to explain what we observe occurring around us. The difference between common sense and explanation and scientific ones lies in the way the two originate. Everyday observations are haphazard, careless, and not systematic, whereas those carried by scientists endeavor to be specific, objective, well focused. Come on, hype up my scientists. While there are very few true guarantees, the more systematic and organized studies we conduct, the more likely we'll produce a valid explanation that can be used to support decisions. Which of the following expresses the conclusion of the passage above? I don't know. Decisions should be not made based on, okay, human nature, okay. The best scientists, okay. Common sense are less valid than science. Scientific explanations. So the answer is either B or D. Let's find out what it is. It's D. See, you need to go with your gut. Okay, why is it D? It's correct because passage summarizes is highlighted. Okay. Question 18. Come on, guys. Let's do this. We can do this. Thank you for all the thumbs up as well. I really appreciate it. They very much help out. Question 18. 6 trillion spam emails are sent every year, amounting to emissions of more than 17 million tons of carbon dioxide. How? More effective spam filtering can reduce the amount by 75%, which would be the equivalent of taking 2.3 million cars off the road. That sounds amazing. This is a 2010 paper. This, however, would not deal with the extra energy being used to send out messages in the first place. A better strategy would be to fight spam at the source. When one global web hosting firm was taken offline, I wonder who that was. Oh, wow, fell by 70%. Okay. I don't know. This is a really complex question. What is the answer? Oh, I got it. I feel like that's what you see a lot in these live study with me's. I don't know. Oh, I got it. Oh, that's nice. When you don't know how you got something, it's always so frustrating. Right, I'm in 2010, so I've done 7 years of questions. Okay, although child road deaths and serious injuries have fallen by 52% in the past 10 years, we should not assume that lessons in road safety are no longer vital for school pupils. A government study reports 2006. Oh, no, they were killed or seriously injured. 400 were male. Oh, so the majority were male. So what are you saying? There are more girls than boys who ride bicycles. That's not true. Girls spend less time. No. Boys are more likely to take risks. Boys are more than twice as likely to be killed or seriously injured. 1,300, 700 girls. That's pedestrians, though. Lessons in road safety. I think it's E, because these are all very extreme statements. So it's probably going to be the least extreme one. Is that the correct answer? Oh no, D is the correct answer. Why is D? D. Boys are more than twice as likely to be killed or seriously injured. So they put 1,300 plus 1,500 is 1,800. So the number of boys is 600 plus 400, which is 1,000. Yeah, so they put them together. Why are you asking me to do so much maths in this section? This is not the maths section of the exam. We are in 2010 still. I want to stop now, but yeah, okay, I'm going to stop in 2010 and we'll come back to this. I want to say closer to the exam, but the exam is a week today. If I go in, if Tootsie hasn't tested positive, right? The behavior of the general public contributed to the reluctance of doctors to do out-of-hours work. When doctors only ever had to deal with genuine medical emergencies, their workload was manageable. Unfortunately, the government has helped to, okay. So it's arguing on what GP should do. What expresses the main conclusion? I think the answer is C. What's the answer? I can feel that. Oh, the answer is A. Yeah, I have to stop now because mentally I've removed myself from the situation. But if this is the most common type of question in the exam, then I need to make sure that I'm very good at this. Next, let me see your flaws. The fallibility, right? Let's go to page 16. How many questions do we have on this? Let me bring my phone over, actually. That's never a good idea when you're studying, but... so we have 30 questions. That is a lot of questions. From 2003 up till present day. 2003 to 2016, section 1, Bmat. We're doing the flaws. This is nice though. Oh yeah, so many questions. I'm getting tired of this. Let me grab my phone over and see how long I've been studying for. Hello. Right. We've been studying for 1 hour and 23 minutes. I can't access anything on here, so there's no point in bringing it over. But it at least means that I'm more motivated because I can see the time literally ticking, and I can see how long I'm studying for. Anyway, thank you to everyone who's joined and for all the thumbs up. Let us continue studying. I'm starting to think. No, start with the 2003 questions because they're the hardest questions. If you can do the hardest questions, then you can do all the other questions. This is really draining. I can't even lie, you guys. But I'm meant to be here for 3 hours. And how long have I been with you guys? I've been here for 90 minutes. So I'm halfway through. That's a positive outset. I just have to do this one more time. While the internet brings undoubted advantages to young people. Oh, I've done this question. It esteems parents. It says I've seen that question before. The 2003 papers are the ones I've done the most. So I'm very comfortable with the old spec. Not the new one. I need to go through the assumed knowledge though. At 11 years old, children of parents who smoke are on average shorter than children of the parents who do not smoke. Therefore, smoking correlation is not causation. Just because your parents smoke doesn't mean that you're going to be short. By the age of 18, exactly, they won't catch up. Oh. I'm yawning so much, you guys. B. Correlation is not causation. That's one of those things you scream in biology, and in math, it's always like, what's the main weakness of this model? It doesn't take friction into account. It doesn't take air resistance into account. There are some things you just memorize. Okay. The government insists primary schools spend 1 hour a day on literacy and numeracy and stipulate. Who's emailing me? Oh, okay. The government now insists that all primary schools spend at least 1 hour a day on literacy and numeracy and stipulate a substantial. Brrr. Can I read this? So the government is trying to make us smarter. Great. You can't make that conclusion, right? Which of the following expresses the flaw? It assumes a teaching method, it ignores additional work, it assumes they were low before the changes, it relies on short-term, it overlooks the benefits. I'm going to say it's C, but I don't know. What's the answer, guys? Tell me. The answer is A. Therefore, whole class teaching. The teaching method. Okay, it's a method, you guys. That is what is going on. Are any of you guys preparing for Bmat as well? Was it just me? On my ones, on my own. Very catchy song. Okay, we're in 2006. Imagine in 2005 they didn't have any of these questions. Must be nice. Farmers are often criticized for their heavy use of pesticides, which has a harmful effect on not only the species, but the people as well. Humans, that is. Yet the fault does not lie with the farmers. People choose supermarkets according to price. Supermarkets compete and bring prices down to gain business. Farmers are forced to sell their product at lower costs. Therefore, people need to maximize their yield or make a loss. Okay, it's complicated, it's economic, it's political, and it's unfair on the farmers. Okay, what is the flaw? That's not contradicting itself. It assumes that the use of pesticides is the only way to avoid making a loss. I got it right. Well done. Whoop, whoop. I hope you guys always congratulate yourself when you get questions correct, because at this point, why is it so dreary today? It's raining, it's dark, it's not very nice. Okay, data from a Swedish census shows that at the age of 64, those who have a PhD are less likely to die within a year than those who have a bachelor's. This is preposterous. Like, where does this data come from? How can you say your degree is, wow. Correlation is not causation. The census showed further evidence of the relationship between level of educational attainment and longevity. Since those who are 64 with a master's or higher are less likely to die than those with a bachelor's. Wow. With them, less likely to die than someone with a BA, but more likely to die than those with a PhD. It's clear that someone with a PhD in Sweden will live longer than someone who doesn't have a PhD. Wow. It assumes people with a PhD. It assumes that what applies in Sweden. No, it doesn't. It assumes that what is true for a group is true for each individual. It assumes people with PhDs are healthier. It assumes only the healthiest people. I don't even know what it's assuming. It just sounds mad. How can you say your degree is going to determine how long you're going to live? Some of these questions are just really something else. The questions are just mad. What's the answer? I've said B, but I don't even know. The answer is A. Okay, A was looking attractive, but why? E is incorrect because it is the evidence to the conclusion rather than the flaw. I'm sorry, I told you guys I went to bed at 1. So that's not normal. I go to bed at 7. I could not sleep, babe. Okay. It's correct because we're only looking at select group of people who have studied rather than those who have not studied at all. So if you compared people without a PhD or any education, okay. I love how that's the flaw, not the fact that you're saying your education solely impacts your life expectancy. Like, some of these questions are wild. Absolutely wild. Okay, question. Okay, after I finish this slide, I'm gonna try a different angle, see how it looks. We'll see. We'll play around. Okay, young children who sleep with the light on are more likely to develop nearsightedness. A collaboration study of 479 children at the UPenn. Oh yeah, I know someone who works here. 55% of children who slept. Myopia. Wow. Of the children who slept with the light on, 34% were myopic. Which of the following? Okay, I need to remember what question I'm doing. I'm doing flaws. Okay, so what flaws are we looking at? Okay. A later study showed that myopia. Wait, which, if true, gives a reason why we have a flaw? I don't know what flaws are present. I have not a clue. What is the answer? A. So it seems flaws are quite a difficult one for me. 55%. Oh, okay. I see what's going on, you guys. Ooh. Only 6% of accidents are caused by speeding. Half the deaths on the road are caused by drivers under 25. Correlation is not causation. I feel like I'm going to be in the exam hall just telling myself, correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation. The road safety campaigners, ouch. Let me just click my hands. Should turn their attention to find ways of helping young people to drive safely when they're gaining experience, instead of advocating the pursuit of safe and responsible technical infringement of arbitrary limits. I don't think it's a technical infringement of an arbitrary limit. I think it's just, I feel like we're just minimizing what is going on. Are you using Modify? No. I haven't got Modify. I can't bring myself to go back on that website after UCAT. The blue and the white, I don't like the cut. The colors just give me. They summon. I'm acting like I did bad in my UCAT. I didn't do bad in my UCAT. I still came up in one of the top deciles, but still, I can't go back on that website. I can't go back. I think a couple of my friends are using it. Who's emailing me? A couple of my friends are using it, but no. What have I used? I've already used the Oxford course. That was really good. It took a while to go through because you have to pass all the tests and the benchmarks, and I think it's like 60 or 70% to get through, and that took me a long time. Yeah, but that was a good course, I can't lie. Then I have a book. Have I touched the book? A couple times. I don't know, is it 700, 800 questions? I can't remember for the life of me. My tummy. Right, let's go back to question 7. Keep doing a few more questions, we'll come back to the chat. The implementation. Oh, yeah, okay. Which of the following is a flaw in the argument? The writer ignores the fact that the introduction of more random speed traps. That's a flaw. The writer ignores the fact that that's a flaw. The writer fails to appreciate. I think the writer is incorrect, but I don't know why the writer is incorrect. What's the answer? Why is D not correct? No, the answer is E. Oh, okay. Road safety, right, statement 2. We cannot assume this because it's not written in the text. So even though it seems like the writer is ignoring things, we can't assume that the writer is ignoring everything. Okay. Question 8. Right, this is quite a long one. I think I'll do 2 or 3 more questions and come back to the chat and see what's going on, if anything's going on. Okay, for there to be life elsewhere in the universe, there would have to be planets similar to Earth. Not necessarily. Life could be different. Stop making assumptions. Small rocky planets orbiting the right distance from their star to ensure they're not too hot that the water boils and not too cold that it remains frozen. Until now, techniques have not been sensitive enough to detect such planets. Kepler telescope. Why do I feel like I know what the Kepler telescope is? Give me flashbacks to GCSE physics. Anyway, my ears are so cold. See, this is why I like wearing my bonnet, you guys, because my ears stay warm. If the Kepler telescope finds that such planets exist, we can at least be confident that there is life on planets other than Earth. That sounds lovely. Okay. It assumes that Earth-sized planets will... Okay. It's not about the size. It assumes that the existence of Earth and habitable. I think B is the main flaw of this argument. But clearly we can see flaws are not my thing. But I got it right. Okay, 2 more questions. I'll come back to the chat, see what you guys are up to. I'm getting very happy because I got 1 answer correct. Societies with a flourishing art sector, visual art, theatre, music, and dance, tend to be more democratic, egalitarian, and economically robust, with healthier citizens. This is probably cold now. Okay. If we want to live in the most democratic, egalitarian, we're assuming this is what you want, economically robust society, we should demand that the government subsidizes the arts to a level that enables them to flourish. Which is the flaw of the argument? There may be other important demands for money. A flourishing art sector may influence. No, that's not a flaw. That would strengthen it. I have no idea what the flaw is. What's the flaw? I feel like I've said flaw so many times, I don't know. A strong economy may be a precondition of an art sector. Why? Societies with a flourishing art sector are more democratic. Got it. To be more democratic, we should subsidize. The main flaw is that these things are a result. A is irrelevant. B and D are not mentioned. So C must be the answer. Right, 1 more question. I'll come over and see what's up in the chat. Examination results. That's a sticky one. Come out once again and will undoubtedly be concerns of the state of the education system. If results are good, we will hear examinations are becoming too easy. If results are poor, then we need more funding to the education sector. Since there will be negative stories in the press either way, we should ignore them and not worry about them. Options are restricted to good or bad. It's an unwarranted attack on the press. It makes a prediction about the future. It fails to... Okay, I think the answer is A, because it's limiting. But what is the answer? Let's see what the answer is. E. This is a very common type of question, but alas, it's not the most common, but I need to keep on going. Since there will be the fact that a negative story does not mean, okay, yeah, right. Let's see what's happening over here. Are you using Modify? No. What are you using? I'm using MedicMind. Have you done a demo test? No, I haven't done a demo test because I've not decided what device I'm going to do this on, either this one or the Lenovo over there that my school gave me. And I don't know if I'll be in school because if you look up the chat, someone in my school has said that she's going to get tested, and if she's positive, I won't be in school for the exam. So we have to work out what's going on there. And then what section? I'm doing section 1 right now, but I'm looking at different sections of section 1. So section 1 is critical thinking, but that is also flaws, it's assumptions, it's conclusions, it's inference, it's weakening and strengthening arguments, it's a lot of things, but I'm looking at them as individual things so I can work out where I need to work the most. So assumptions, I'm quite good. Conclusions, I'm decent, but flaws is my main flaw, funnily enough. However, I'm becoming very exhausted and very burnt out. So I'm thinking I should move on from flaws into something else. But to be honest, this whole section is very mentally taxing and challenging. And we've been here for 1 hour, 43 minutes. So it's been quite a long time. I've been revising since pretty much the start of the live. What resources using? I'm just using MedicMind. I've been using YouTube. I've been using the past papers. Oh, actually, I have Bmat Ninja. Have I used it? Not really. No. I think I used it 1 or 2 times with my friends, but I've not really used it. With Bmat, my mentality is very different to UCAT. And I'm not really like, let's buy a bunch of things, let's pay for a bunch of things. Because my thing is like, it's an exam that you can prepare for. There are past papers available for free online. You can work it out. Ask your teachers and your friends to help you get through questions. It's not, that's my mentality. But yeah. Let's continue going, and I'll come back to the chat in a second. Right, I'm halfway through all the floors questions I said I wanted to do, but I'm going to leave the floors now. I'll come back to the floors tomorrow morning when I'm more agile mentally. Mentally alert. How big are inferences? Oh, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Since 2003, we've only had, so if we've only had 3 questions between 2003 and now, is that going to be in the exam anymore? Let's ask the group chat. Let's find out. Let me read the questions. The government wishes to increase the number of young people, which is an inference. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say 2017 Bmat, section 1. We're going to use Command and F, and we're going to see if inference still comes up. Command F. Ooh. So inference is still a thing, but just not very popular. Good to know. Inference is not in our test anymore. Okay, I'm not going to do the inference questions then. Let me triple check. I don't want to miss it, but there's literally only 3 questions over the last 20 years. Where's medicine? This medicine? Yeah, that's a medicine group chat. If inference is not in it, then that saves me a lot of time because I'm really not interested. Yeah, I'm not interested. What's going on here? See, you should never open your phone. Don't ever open your phone. No. Don't even look at it. Walk away. Did you guys see that? This was like literally live. Nice hat. Thank you. What was I saying? Yeah, I literally went on my phone to check one thing and then I ended up in a spiral. But we're back quite quickly. In that case, if inference is not there, that saves me a lot of time. Strengthening and weakening. Oh, this is lovely. How many questions is this? Oh, wow, you guys. Okay, I'm in a much better mood now. This is only 14 questions. In strengthening, what strengthens this argument? And then in weakening, what weakens this argument? I don't know what weakens the argument. I don't even know what the argument is. Okay, so weakening the argument is actually a lot more common than strengthening the argument. Then all the spatial awareness ones. Okay, this is not the biggest document. I feel like I should have started from the bottom to the top to boost my confidence. But starting with those questions have really, really helped. Inference is in my test. Nice weave, a lot. Thank you. I can't tell. Right, I'm going to start off with strengthening questions. Okay, that's really nice. It's only 14 questions. That feels very, very nice because the other one was like 40 questions between 2003 and now, and I just... Strengthening. The way my Bmat folder is going to be thick. It's going to be very, very thick, very, very soon. I'm going to be up all night reading strengthening document. Can you help me with my geography? I've not done geography since I was 11. I can't help you with that. I have 65 questions. That's a lot of questions. That's actually true. I've not done geography since I was 11. Mad. Bmat, section 1. Strengthening. This is a very nice title. Strengthening arguments, but I'm not writing the whole thing out. So heavy, no problem. So no, it's fine. I've never mentioned geography on this channel. I don't even remember. I think maybe glaciers. I don't know. I use it for workouts now. Thought you were a geography. I'm not a geography teacher. I'm just doing Bmat revision. Okay. Ready meals should be labeled with warnings in the same way cigarettes are. I've seen this one. Oh yeah, it's a 2003 question. Yeah. Oh, that was probably the first Bmat question I ever did. What are we studying? I'm doing Bmat section 1. It's the entrance exam. I study medicine in medicine, dentistry, veterinary, and biomedical science in the UK, India, Singapore, Thailand, a couple countries, a couple unis. Nutritionist is 2004. Nutritionists say that we should eat more fruit and vegetables every day to reduce our intake of fat to prevent major illnesses. Fruit and vegetable are relatively expensive compared to fatty foods. It's unlikely that families on very low incomes will follow this advice. If the government wants to improve health of the nation, they have to consider taxing foods that are high in fat. Which of the following, if true, would strengthen the argument above? This has nothing to do with smoking, nothing to do with children. Many people prefer eating fatty foods. I think that would strengthen the argument. Oh, I'm a doctor. Want help? Oh, that's so nice. What type of doctor? KFC for life. Families on lower income. Ooh. We just had a question on that. Right, question 3. Let's have a look to see what's going on. To be honest, the questions I'm doing right now are more, oh, you're a GP, nice. Right. We're not saying anything negative towards people of lower socioeconomic backgrounds. Yeah, so the questions I'm doing right now are more critical thinking. Like, here's an argument. What's the what's the flaw? What strengthens the argument? What reduces the arguments? Reduces? Yeah, it's arguments. Yesterday we were doing like actual science, like, oh, is this the renal vein? Is this that? A horse doctor, a GP for horses. So, like, did you do veterinary? Or is that a thing? I don't know anything about veterinary. I know we have quite a few people at school who are going for veterinary, but I don't know what it's like at all. I assume it's just like medicine, but like animals. Question 3, right. Okay. Thank you for all the thumbs up, by the way. Just horses. Okay, that's interesting. So did you like equestrian studies then? Specialist in horses. That sounds so cool. Horses. It's interesting. So talking about horses, I feel like in the essay section, there's probably some questions on horses. Because in the essay section, there'll be like a medicine question, a veterinary question, a philosophy question. Nay, wow. And then you choose the question you want to do your essay on. And I always see them, they're like to do with like different animal euthanasia and things like that. But I don't do those questions because I'm not going for veterinary. But yeah, it's very interesting. Question 3. A survey of the behavior of dogs in Vancouver, animals, revealed a surprising finding. On 27th of February, the day before a major earthquake, 50% of the dogs were more active and anxious than normal. The probability of this happening was 1 in 1,000, so it's likely it was connected to the earthquake. Suggested explanations have been that dogs were responding to the electromagnetic changes in the subterranean gases associated with earthquakes, but given that we know that dogs have good hearing abilities, the most likely explanation is that the sounds from the rocks scraping were hurting the dog's feelings. Okay, right. Which supports the explanation. Many dogs with a hearing. Oh, that would support it. If they had hearing, I don't even know dogs could have hearing impairments. Seismic waves, observation of dogs' behavior. That would weaken it. Monitoring earthquake zones. Let's see what the answer is, and I'll come back to the chat to see what you guys are saying. Question 2. Oh. Levels of smoking. What does levels of smoking have to do with this? Oh, okay. Similar waves. Many dogs with hearing. Yay, I got it right. Okay, and the next one is, oh, so I messed up the number of them. I missed one somehow. I can help with horse questions. If any horse questions come up, I will definitely ask you. Ardencho, what section are you doing? I am doing section 1. I'm looking at strengthening arguments, weakening arguments. I also specialize in domestic goldfish, underrated animals. I do like goldfish. We had them when I was younger. We had a lot of them. I think one time I overfed them though because I was just really, really young and I was so I wasn't allowed to feed them again. That's a very random thing, but yeah, it was always so fun. What resources? Medic Mind. Or at least I think that's what it says in the top corner, but there's so many logos there that I'm always like, is this something else? What else have I used? I mean, I've looked at Bmat Ninja. I've not used it per se, maybe once or twice. I have a book, either 700 or 800 Bmat. I can't remember what it's called. I've not touched it. Where's my UCAT one? Things just disappear in this room. What else? YouTube occasionally. Just to practice questions, to be honest. Especially with Bmat, I just feel like you don't really have to pay for things. No, it's not. Sorry, I'm rambling, but I have seen your comment. It's not paid, but like, I mean, you can, there's a paid version and a free version. You have to look around the website to find good resources. That's what happens with a lot of these websites. They do offer good resources, but you have to look for them. They're not like when you go on their website, they want you to pay for something. They don't want you to easily be able to find the resources that are free. So you've got to look around. But I just think that you need to just do questions. Like the questions from 2003 till 2018 are available. So just do them. Obviously look at the new spec because the questions where they give you data on like all the families in this country and all the GPs, and then you work out all of that. Those questions are gone. Did you know goldfish's ancestors derived from horse femurs? That's actually interesting. We did have a section actually in GCSE. I don't know if you know what GCSE is. It's like the qualifications you do when you're 16. But it was on like the evolution of horses and sharks, not goldfish. I can literally remember the page in the textbook. It was really interesting. I can remember which lab I was sat in and everything. It was like one of those lessons where you're like, yeah, I'm going to remember this. Thank you for everyone who's joined and all of the thumbs up as well. I will get back to studying in a second, and tomorrow will be in a different angle. I'm still playing around, trying to work out what we're doing. The lighting will be better as well, fingers crossed. That's why they have some similar coloring. That's really interesting. Is that like one of those endosymbiotic? Symbiotic, like when the animals are like, they have mutually, I can't remember how to explain it. I literally did this like a few weeks ago. They have like a mutually, not exclusive, beneficial relationship. So back in the day, like mitochondria, they were like friendly and then they got taken up. Yes, it is. Good work. Where are you taking your Bmat test? I don't know. I think I'm doing it at home, but my friend who I sat next to on the last day of school is getting tested. So who's messaging me? It depends. If it's a positive test, I think I'll be doing it from home, which is nerve-wracking. If it's not, I don't even know what's going to happen. If you stress about, there's nothing you can do. Like, there's really nothing you can do. I can't stress about it now. It's online anyway. So if we are sent home because of the positive case, then, you know, there's nothing I can do. I'm sent home. Like, but I've been doing my Bmat questions here, so that would be nice to do my Bmat sat here. And I did my UCAT here as well. I'll have to take down all my posters though. I don't think I can really cheat with a picture of Saturn, a BTS poster, couple Bible verses, sticky notes telling me to do my homework, my timetable. Like I don't have anything useful here. I mean, I have a list of like things I need to revise, but you still have to take everything off your walls. Got a couple pictures of my friends as well. Are you nervous about the exam? No. I had such a nasty UCAT experience that I refuse to do it again. Like for Bmat, we're going to be relaxed. When did you start revising? I don't really know. I didn't really start taking revision seriously until a few days ago. Like a few days ago was when I was like, boom, 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 boom. But before that, I've been very laid back, like, going through the Oxford course that I mentioned. That took ages. So I did like maybe an hour or two a week. And then like, yeah, I've started, I think I'm going to say from October, Oxfizz, OXFIZZ or ZZ. It's a long course. I don't know if it's possible to do it between now and the exam. It took ages. It's meant to be like 19 lessons, and it's a long course. But I took that. That was quite useful. A couple weeks ago, I just did a bunch of essay plans. Like, I've not been very intense until right now. Good luck. Thank you, Soph. But yeah, I would say realistically, like intense Bmat revision, that started on Saturday. So in my last 2 lives, I've covered all the questions from 2009 to 2016 in section 2. And I've done a lot of the 2003 and 2004 ones because they're more challenging. Right now we're doing section 1. Tomorrow's live we'll be doing essay plans. My tummy's making so much noise, I apologize, you guys. But yeah, it's hard to say when I started revising for it because, to be honest, this time last year, I was trying to start learning things that I would need, like the physics, like little things, because if you start in advance, then at least it's there. Because if I didn't do that last year, now when I learned the physics, I would be pulling from 2 years ago instead of pulling from 1 year ago. So I just tried to get a couple of the equations in my head, very, very lax, laid back, not very. And then I did a couple of webinars. I say a couple, 1 or 2, maximum 2. I can't really remember because there were so many webinars and Zoom sessions in lockdown. But yeah, so maybe I've not really done much for Bmat in total, but I feel just like it's easier to prepare for. Like I was preparing for months and questions. But for this one, like, you know the content. It's going to be biology, chemistry, maths, and physics. It's going to be an essay on philosophy or medicine or veterinary ethical issues. It's going to be making assumptions, finding flaws, strengthening argument. Like, you know what it is. So it's a lot more just tangible. And wow, we've made it to 2 hours on this live stream. If you guys were here from the start, like, I've really been unmotivated to study today. So pat on the back. I'm very, very proud of us for getting here. Interesting, when do you start revising? What are you taking? Are you nervous about the exam? What did you get on your UCAT? I can't remember on the top of my head. I know it was in the second decile. It was like near 28 or 2900. I'm really trying to remember. I remember I got band 1 in SJT. What did I get in my UCAT? I've already said it in one of my UCAT videos, so if you go back and look at them. A number comes to mind, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, I can't remember. I've been, because even I'm not just applying to medicine, I'm applying to a completely separate course. I've been doing different personal statements. I've not been here. I need to go back and study. I'm going to actually come back to the chat. I can see a lot of things coming up, but I need to get back to studying. But yeah, like, I'm having a moment. I think I'll probably have an email about it. I'll check my emails in a second to see what's happened. Right, let's do a couple more exam questions because I need to focus, and I'll come back to the chat in a second. Right, 2010, question 28. During the trial of a 10-year, I can't read out this question because even yesterday when I was doing mitosis, like, YouTube was like, oh, those are bad words. That's not allowed. And I was like, it's biology. Thank you to everyone who's joined and all the thumbs up as well. I keep saying this, but I genuinely appreciate you guys being here studying with me. I feel a lot more motivated than I did 2 hours ago. Right. I can't even read this out. This is just so explicit and violent. Why would they do that in this question? Child B in a newspaper. Leniency. Many were sent to the newspaper. They didn't like the way that the child was addressed in court. This shows that the name alone had influenced public opinion and prevented members of the public from having sympathy with the child. Which of the following statements, if true, would strengthen the argument above? The newspaper that used the term blank reported the case, and I don't know. The editors the newspaper that I think the answer is E. I think the answer is E. Oh, the answer is A. Well done. I mean, So far, I've gotten 3 out of 4, so I'm not mad. Why is this the strengthening? The passage concludes that those calling for tough measures use the term blank. The name alone was responsible for forming public opinion and prevented members of the public from having sympathy for the child. This strengthened by statement 1 because they were accurate in the upbringing and the case. You shouldn't really have said that about the child, I'm going to be honest. But what year was this in? This was 2000. Oh, 2010. What's your excuse, guys? That was a 2003 paper. You shouldn't be calling children that kind of thing, not on the media. That seems very, very controversial, very, very shady. Okay, the ability to use language separates humans from other animals by the age of 18. Most people know about 60,000 words. From the age of 6, they begin to recognize language, genetic reasons, communication. Humans and chimps share 99% of their DNA. Oh, this is the mark scheme. I'm looking in the wrong place. Oh, yeah. At least I didn't look at the answer. They found the gene HAR1 makes us dramatically different. It's expressed in the cerebral cortex. I need to revise the cerebral cortex and the hypothalamus, a part of the brain that is particularly associated with language. Which of the following pieces of evidence would strengthen the hypothesis that this is okay? It's found to be expressed in the human brain that's not. Okay, is that the correct answer? No, that's sad. What's the correct answer? A human genetic disorder is found to be caused by a mutation. Why is this the answer? Strengthens the argument because if language-specific impairment is caused by the mutation of the gene, then that means that the gene is linked to language. Okay, question 6. I think I'll finish these questions and finish the study with me, you guys, because I'm actually exhausted. I'm so sorry. Like, how many questions have we done? 1, 2, 3. We've done 60-something questions. How many questions are we doing here? So yesterday, we did about 70-something questions. So today we're doing about 60-something, which considering the fact I'm kind of feeling exhausted it's quite decent. It's quite decent. And I'm feeling so just out of it. I think I'm just going to sleep after this. Right. Let us do a couple more questions and I'll come back to the chat and see what's going on. Police should be given permission to use water cannons against rioters and rules when appropriate. Police see water cannons as an effective means of dispersal of some scenarios, incurring fewer injuries to the public. In dealing with street riots in major cities last year, oh, this was 2012, this was recent. Their guidelines could be agreed about using water cannons, for example, to deal with rioters who throw missiles and petrol bombs, who are also, fire ambulance crews. Which of the following, if true, will strengthen the argument? That would weaken the argument. I don't know. I think the answer is E, but I'm really not sure. The answer is E. Look at that, you guys. That makes me happy. Right, what's the next one? Question 7. Okie dokie, let's have a look. Alcohol is... Oh, I just finished my flip timer. So I've done 500 minutes today. How many hours is 500 minutes? That's including the time I was asleep. So inference is the same as drawing conclusions. Oh, inference is in the year. Yeah, data analysis is not this year, but inference is still here. Okay, great. I'll go back and do the inference questions in a second. Do I have to do the inference questions then as well before I don't get distracted by your phone? Don't get distracted by your phone. Put it away. Put it away and keep on studying. We're almost done with this. We're getting very tired, but we're almost done with this. Boom, 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 boom. I think I should drop a mixtape. Okay, alcohol is addictive. It is now the world's 3rd largest cause of illness and premature death, behind smoking and high blood pressure. According to the... Whoa, what's under my table? Sorry, my poster just jabbed me in the leg. I got scared. That's the mark scheme. Here's a question. Okay. Harmful drinking kills 2.5 million annually. Twice as many people die in... Oh, wow. More people than road accidents. To reduce harm caused by alcohol, reduce consumption, make alcohol more expensive, make it less appealing by banning its advertisement, encouraging responsible drinking, targeting problem drinkers, and okay. Which strengthens the argument? Heaviest drinking. Whoa. Is that true? In the UK, the heaviest drinking, 10% of the population, consumes 45% of the alcohol. Whoa. Scotland's alcohol consumption has doubled as prices have fallen. Ooh. Ooh. Those are two. Okay. Minimum price of alcohol. Some alcohol. Okay. So it's either Scotland or the UK. What strengthens the argument? I'm going to say B. Scotland strengthens the argument because that's an actual example. Right, I'm going to do one more question and come back to the mark scheme. Come back. I've got the question right. Okay, I'll come back to the chat in a second. Let me just do one more question. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 6 questions plus 3 questions is 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 questions done and I'm done with this live. Okay. It's so exhausting. The next time you feel the flu, why is there another question about pandemics? Oh, painkillers. Okay, I got worried. Right, painkillers. We got that one correct. Let's come and have a look to the live stream. Are you nervous about the exam? What are you getting? UCAT, Oxford course, Oxfizz, I've already said that. What is it? Oxfizz is like how you have Medify, Bmat, Ninja. It's a thing. I think they offer mostly like support with interviews, but they also have courses for the different entrance exams. Yeah. What's the next question? Good luck. Thank you. Do you want to study at Oxford Uni? Yeah, it'd be nice. What have you applied for? Medicine, chemical engineering, biology. Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing okay, thank you. I'm feeling a lot better than earlier. Can you check the test format? Does it say under section 1 that the test does not include? Yeah, there's no data analysis, but there's still inference because technically drawing conclusions is inference. So yeah, but you won't have the big questions where it'll be like, question 32 to question 44 are all going to be about this data. You won't have that. Thank you. I really didn't like those. That's why I lost marks. Like, Right, that seems like everything that's been said in the chat. I'm going to go back and do a couple more questions. How are you guys liking this format of live study with me? Oh, hey Siri, how charged?
It's at 49%.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay. I don't know what happened on Saturday. On Saturday, it was just dying rapidly for the duration of our live stream. But alas, now it's Tuesday and it's completely fine. 500,000 pregnant women are troubled by morning sickness each year in the UK. This phenomenon is not fully understood. One theory is that changing levels of hormones act on the brain and heighten evolutionary adaptive response that helps to prevent women from consuming substances that might be harmful less during the first 3 months, that vulnerable stage of development. I don't want morning sickness. I just want to eat everything. I just like eating. I'm going to eat after this. Morning sickness decline after the 3rd month. Pregnant women sometimes have cravings. I think 1 and 3. So the answer is E. So what's the answer? Don't let me get too excited. I got the correct answer. Come on. So I've done 9 questions, 7 out of 9. So strengthening arguments is not something that I need to be particularly concerned about. You know what? I don't want to minimize the questions I'm doing. Section 1 has been updated to inference. I've done the specimen ones, but you're still drawing conclusions, and drawing a conclusion is inferring something. Let me open the specimen ones now. I don't think it'll be the same as like the inference ones, like if you look at a section of inference, because there were only 3 of them between 2003 and 2018, so they weren't popular anyway. Oh, I just searched up specimen paper, Bmat, or biology. Can I spell Bmat? Bmat, section 1. But technically, you're still inferring things, if that makes sense. Right, let's have a look. Is this 2020? How do I see what year is this? Biomedical. Is this 2020? I can't tell. Let me search up 20. Oh, this says 2020. That's the answer key. I think it's a 2020 control. I can't see anything here. Okay. There's 2 specimen papers, right? Let me check the specimen 1. Specimen paper 2. I've done the section 1, but not the section. No, wait. Specimen section 2 is not changed this year. Specimen section 1. They have 2 specimens. This is thinking skills. Wait, is that TSA? Right, I'm going through these. Hello as well. Oh, wait. I'm trying to still learn the shortcuts on this laptop. Wait a second. Command and F. Yeah, so you still have conclusion ones. In fact, the first question in this one is a conclusion. I can't find the second one. I have to find the second one because I still need to do more mocks. But if you're finding a conclusion, that means you're still inferring something. Right, question 10. A&E have too many patients, not enough permanent staff. Working in A&E is not attractive to doctors. Which of the following strengthens the argument? I think the issue I'm going to have in this section is the fact that I don't like reading the whole thing. Right, strengthening the argument is done. I'm going to do 4 more questions and then okay, I get you. Yeah. So not like let me get up an example inference of the old ones that are no longer there. So like these ones. Which one of the following is an inference? Which one of the following is an inference? Like those ones are gone. I'm looking at these here. The last time they had one of them was 2009, so I don't know why they feel like they need to mention that. Yeah, 2003, 2007, 2009. Okay, I'm getting excited because we're going to be done for the day. I say done for the day. After I come off this live, I still have to study more. Okay, I'm getting excited. Let me not get too excited. I feel like if you watch the end of all my study with me, about like the 2 hour something mark is when I'm like, I'm excited. I'm going to be done soon. Right. Do I end now? Because I don't want to read this. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know if I can push on for the final 4 questions. Can I do this or can I not do this? I don't know, you guys. I don't know if I can push through anymore. I'm tired. We have been here for a long time. Overprescription of antibiotics. Okay. Overprescription of antibiotics by doctors have raised harmful drug resistance in bacteria that can make minor surgery fatal. Which of the following, if true? Government should allow routine sales. In some countries, they're bought without prescription. Antibiotics are used against viruses. Use of antibiotics in livestock. Governments will allow unless in emergency. So the governments can't impact that much. Okay. Right. That is it, guys. I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. I hope you guys have had a productive day or a productive 2 hours and 20 minutes. But as always, I'm only live streaming because I have an exam coming up in a week, by the way. I think I might start live streaming every like Saturday because I study loads anyway. But Wednesdays and Sundays are uploads. Sunday is study with me, like edited aesthetic music. Wednesday is like advice on certain topics and things in school. But yeah, give this video a big thumbs up and share it if you care. As always, make sure you wonderful people smile, subscribe, study hard, slay hard, be productive in whatever you're studying, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.